Little People, Big World Spoilers. Amy Roloff saddened by tragic goodbye. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. Little People, Big World Spoilers reveal that Amy Roloff has started to share her sadness with her fans. Recently, she told her fans that she was going to see her aging father because at 96 years old, he may not have too many years behind him. Let's take a closer look at her trip to Michigan and how it went. Little People, Big World Spoilers. Amy Roloff's life after the show. Now that the Roloffs are no longer filming Little People, Big World, it seems as if they have a lot more time on their hands. Amy has made the most of her time and has been traveling to see her family. With the show being canceled, Amy can now spend a lot more time traveling and seeing her family. However, not all of these trips are easy, and it looks as if she had a few delays at the airports after going to visit her family. Little People, Big World Spoilers. Amy Roloff shares her travels in her latest post. Amy shared that she was leaving Michigan and it was quite a bittersweet trip. She wrote, "Bittersweet leaving Michigan today. But I can't wait to get back to Chris, my kids and grandkids. I'm glad I was able to have another just hanging out with my dad visit." Amy knows that her father may not have many more years in his life, so it is very important that she gets to spend as much time with him as possible. During her travels, Amy said that she had a few delays and she just wanted to get back to Washington to see her husband and grandkids. She shared herself having a few beverages at different airports since she was delayed for quite some time. It appears that she got back to her family and is happy about that. We will continue to keep an eye on Amy's next trip to see her family and if she updates her fans on how her father is going these days. LPBO, Tori and Zach Roloff talk about shocking and tragic miscarriage. Little People, Big World Celebs. Zach Roloff and Tori Roloff recently opened up about the miscarriage that Tori had. The pair went deep into this traumatic event and how this tragedy affected them prior to the eventual arrival of Josiah Roloff. What did they have to say? Little People, Big World. Tori Roloff had a miscarriage in 2021. Tori Roloff shocked the Little People, Big World community when she revealed she had a miscarriage in 2021. Understandably, this was devastating news for Tori, Zach, and the entire family. The husband and wife recently revisited that family tragedy in an episode of their podcast, Raising Heights. LPBO, Tori Roloff and Zach Roloff open up about loss. The way Tori Roloff speaks of the experience, she said on her Raising Heights podcast with her husband, "I can remember just being so mad at my body after that. I had what was called a missed miscarriage, which means that my body didn't realize that the baby passed on. So I was left with the decision with how do you want to move forward, cause it had been 3 weeks, because that's where the growth had stopped." Zach Roloff chimed in as well about this harrowing experience, adding, 3 kids, you get kind of excited, you announce it a little earlier, you get a little bit more excited and you jump ahead a little bit. That's what I remember telling the TV people, the family. Little People, Big World. Tori and Zach ruffle some feathers with controversial stance inevitably. While discussing their tragic experience with the miscarriage, the topic of abortion came up, which, by nature, is a dividing subject. Speaking on the matter, Tori said, "To me, when you get pregnant, that's a baby, you know, and so when we lost that baby, it was like, we just lost a part of our family." While many Little People, Big World fans sympathize with what Tori Roloff and the rest of her family went through, not all of her followers are on board with her and her husband's position on the matter of abortion. After what Tori went through of losing her baby, she said, "I'm not ok with this. I don't understand how someone could choose to be in that room." Tori Roloff did as much damage control as she could without backing down from her position. Both Zach and Tori agreed that there are special circumstances where something like abortion may be necessary. Either way, when you touch on issues like this as a family in the public eye, some level of pushback is unavoidable. The end of the day, Tori reiterated that these are their views on their podcast, and she encouraged her followers to listen to the whole thing to get the whole picture, rather than to form an opinion based on a few select sound bites of it. LPBO, Roloff family reunites at Amy and Chris. See adorable pics. It was a Little People, Big World Christmas family reunion based on the latest updates making the rounds on social media. Several branches of the Roloff family traveled to Amy Roloff and Chris Merrick's house to bring tidings and good cheer, and the pics speak for themselves. Little People, Big World. TLC show canceled after 25 seasons, even though Little People, Big World fans suspected it as soon as Zach Roloff and Tori Roloff announced that they were quitting after season 25. It took some time for official word to come down the pipe that the long-running program was over. The way a recent insider put it, Matt Roloff was the only family member who still wanted to film more Little People, Big World seasons. For the rest of the family, they are glad that it is finally over and that they no longer need to structure their lives around a TLC filming schedule. LP Vito. Roloff family reunites at Amy Roloff and Chris Marek's home for the holidays based on the latest Little People Big World updates making the rounds. Several branches of the Roloff family traveled to Amy Roloff and Chris Marek's home for a Roloff family reunion for the Christmas holiday. Several of the cousins got to spend time together and reconnect. Amy Roloff even shared a pic with all of the Roloff wives, including Tori Roloff, Isabel Roloff, and Audrey Roloff. So it's clear that they have been able to put their family squabbles aside for the sake of reuniting for the Christmas holiday, and many Little People Big World fans love to see it. Little People Big World. Zach Roloff still feuding with Matt Roloff? What's interesting about this recent Roloff family reunion for the holidays is that it was at Amy Roloff and Chris Marek's house. Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler were not in any of the pics making the rounds, so it looks like the beef between Zach Roloff and Matt Roloff is still ongoing. However, with all of the Roloff wives and cousins coming together to celebrate this special holiday, that is still a good sign moving forward. Even if all of the fences have not been mended quite yet, it certainly seems like there is some progress being made with some of them. And that's all anyone can ask for at the end of the day. Many Little People Big World fans are glad to see several branches of the Roloff family put their differences aside for the sake of the children, and for the sake of letting Amy's